Karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar's kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you how I make this awesome, wholesome shepherd's pie. And in my pot over here, I have got 1.5 kilos of potatoes that I've added some salt, and they're cut into medium-sized pieces. And then boil them until they're completely soft, just like that. Then we're going to drain the water. Make sure that the water is completely drained. Then I like to use the same pot that I have cooked with. And I also like to mash them while they're still hot. It's much easier. If you do not have a potato masher like this, you can always use a fork or you can use a glass. That does a wonderful job as well. Then I added half a cup of cheddar cheese. And since the potatoes are hot, it's going to help melting the cheese quicker. And about 1/4 cup of milk and 1 egg yolk. We're just going to mix and mash at the same time. Now I have used total of half a cup. You can use more if you need to. You want to make sure the potatoes are really, really soft. And add more salt if you wish. And I have used about half a teaspoon of black pepper. That's coarse, but you can use powder. We're just going to mix and mash at the same time. Then I added more milk. If you wish to add butter, please go ahead and use about 1 tablespoon or so. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm ready to get ready with the meat. I'm using a wok, but if you have a frying pan, please go ahead and use a frying pan. I used about 2.5 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm using red onions. Ideally, yellow onion is what is better for this recipe, but I don't have one. So we're going to saute this, and I used dried herbs. That's rosemary and thyme, about 1 teaspoon of each. If you have fresh, that's much better, but you would add it towards the end, not the beginning, right? And 1 tablespoon of minced garlic or crushed garlic, whatever works for you. Then we're just going to saute. I used 1 large onion. That's about 1 cup diced. All right. Then the carrots, also about 2 carrots. It's were diced, and they were about 1 cup as well. Just going to saute on medium-high heat, not too high. And then I'm using ground beef. If you have lamb, that's much better. That's about 600 grams, which is about 1.3 pounds. All right. Just going to break down the meat, and then I used 1 small packet of tomato paste. That was about 3 tablespoons. You're just going to mix and saute. And not to forget the Worcestershire sauce. This is a very important ingredient in this to give those beautiful flavors. I used about 2 tablespoons. And peas, you can use fresh or you can use frozen ones. If you use fresh, please make sure they're pre-cooked. And it's a very simple dish. And I used about 2 cups of homemade broth. You can use stock. If you don't have, then you have to settle for water. But believe me, with a broth or stock, it adds those flavors to the dish. All right. So we're just gonna, I added 1 teaspoon of black pepper coarse and salt. I also added half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder. My camera fell off. So then you're going to reduce the heat and let it simmer until all the liquid is completely dried. All right. So now just going to put it in the pan. In the baking dish. I'm using a 9x13. And you want to spread it like that. And then now we're going to add the potatoes. So when your potatoes are nice and soft, it's going to be very, very easy to spread them on top of the meat. Okay. And please make sure the oven is ready. Mine is at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 200 Celsius. We're just going to spread the potatoes and cover all the areas and angles so that the meat does not pop up while it's cooking. All right, so just gonna cover all the areas. And also you can use the egg white that was left behind to apply on the potatoes on the top before you bake them. It gives a beautiful color. I forgot to use it. Then we're going to make design like this, which is not necessary, but it makes them look beautiful. All right, so we're going to put it in the oven for about 20 minutes until your potatoes, your pie has nice beautiful golden color, not like mine. And then let it sit for about 10 minutes before you slice it or serve it however you like. And you can see how beautiful this is, and it tasted even better. So thank you so much. Please drop by for more recipes, and please find all the ingredients on this page and in the description box below.